Don't go away. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Real Monsters! Next on Nickelodeon, it's Real Monsters! Followed by the Backyardigans. Next, it's Real Monsters! Followed by Donkey Kong Country. Only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's Real Monsters! Followed by Kick Buttowski, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for the Adventures of Tintin, followed by Real Monsters! Only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Allegra's Window, followed by Oopin' and Eepin'. Stay tuned for the Amazing Digital Circus, followed by Sonic Prime, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's the Angry Beavers, followed by the Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's the Backyardigans, followed by Ed's World. Stay tuned for the Backyardigans, followed by Star vs. the Forces of Evil, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's the Backyardigans, followed by the Unused Imagine Show. Next up, it's Battle for Dream Island, followed by Nick Arcade, only on Nickelodeon. In a moment, you'll be watching Bear in the Big Blue House, followed by the Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, only on Nickelodeon. Do not move your seat because Bluey is up next, followed by Rocco's Modern Life, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's Bluey, followed by Salute Your Shorts, only on Nickelodeon. Caillou is next, followed by Alma's Way, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Clarissa Explains It All, followed by Jace and the Wheeled Warriors, only on Nickelodeon. In a moment, you'll be watching Clarissa Explains It All, followed by Yakari, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Codename Kids Next Door, followed by Big Hero 6, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Come Outside, followed by Tayo the Little Bus. Next, it's Demon Slayer, followed by The Patrick Star Show, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's The Devil's a Part-Timer, followed by Welcome Freshmen. Next on Nick, it's more of Disventure Camp, followed by Meta Runner. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, followed by Keenan and Kel. Next, it's Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, followed by Rugrats, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Doug, followed by Tai Chi Chasers, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Dragon Tales, followed by Weibaloo, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Drawn Together, followed by Bunnicula, only on Nickelodeon. Don't go away! Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's more of DuckTales. In a moment, you will be watching Ed's World, followed by Conclave, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Ed's World, followed by Master of None. Next, it's Family Double Dare, followed by Beetlejuice, only on Nickelodeon. Family Guy is next, followed by Nick Arcade, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Flipper, followed by The Buzz on Maggie, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Flipper, followed by Caillou. In a moment, you'll be watching Garfield and Friends, followed by Flipper, only on Nickelodeon. In a moment, you'll be watching Garfield and Friends, followed by My Brother and Me, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Garfield and Friends, followed by Sophia the First. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's The Ghost and Molly McGee, followed by The Storymakers. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Gravity Falls, followed by Happy Tree Friends. Do not move your seat because Hey Arnold is coming up next, followed by Attack on Titan, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Hey Arnold, followed by Jim Henson's Muppet Babies. Coming up, it's Hey Arnold, followed by Top Wing, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's Human Resources, followed by The Angry Beavers, only on Nickelodeon. Infinity Train is next, followed by Master of None, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Inspector Gadget, followed by Astef Movie, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's In the Night Garden, followed by Johnny Bravo, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's In the Night Garden, followed by My Brother and Me, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Jujutsu Kaisen, followed by The Unused Imagine Show, only on Nick. Next on Nick, it's Jungle Junction, followed by Bullwinkle's Moose-a-Rama. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Kablam! Followed by Samurai Jack. Stay tuned for Kablam! Followed by South Park, only on Nickelodeon. Conclave is next, followed by Wow Wow Wubsy, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Lab Rats, followed by Oopin' and Eepin'. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Legends of the Hidden Temple, followed by The Oblongs. Next on Nick, it's The Little Bits, followed by Attack on Titan. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Livewire, followed by Fred Penner's Place. Do not move your seat because Looney Tunes is coming up next, followed by Broad City, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Lucky Star, followed by Waybaloo, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's Master of None, followed by Clarissa Explains It All, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Mickey Mouse Mixed Up Adventures, followed by Bewitched, only on Nickelodeon. In a moment, you'll be watching Minority, followed by Ren and Stimpy, only on Nickelodeon. Do not move your seat because Murder Jones is coming up next, followed by Kablam! Only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's The Muppet Show, followed by Fraggle Rock, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's The Mystery Files of Shelby Woo, followed by Ship the Shore, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Nick Arcade, followed by Mr. Bean, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, tune in for some Nickelodeon news, followed by Samurai Jack, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Noonboy and the Super 7, followed by Space Cases. Next on Nickelodeon, it's The Oblongs, followed by Harvey Beaks. Next up, it's Octonauts, followed by Legends of the Hidden Temple, only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's One, followed by Real Monsters, only on Nickelodeon. Do not move your seat because One Piece is coming up next, followed by Kablam! Only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Paw Patrol, followed by Yo Gabba Gabba! Only on Nickelodeon. Next up, it's Pound Puppies, followed by In the Night Garden, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Rabbids Invasion, followed by The Wonder Years. Next on Nick, it's Ren and Stimpy, followed by In the Night Garden. Coming up, it's Ren and Stimpy, I refuse to say the whole name, followed by Taffy, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's Resident Evil, followed by Kiff, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Rocko's Modern Life, followed by Sesame Street. Stay tuned for Roly Poly Oly, followed by Phineas and Ferb, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Royal Crackers, followed by Doug, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Salute Your Shorts, followed by Baby Jake. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Salute Your Shorts, followed by Newhart. Next up, it's Sesame Street, followed by Inspector Gadget, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Sesame Street, followed by Looney Tunes, only on Nickelodeon. Next, it's Sesame Street, followed by Sonic Boom, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's Special Agent Oso, followed by Castlevania, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's SpongeBob SquarePants, followed by Alien Stage. Stay tuned for SpongeBob SquarePants, followed by Looney Tunes, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's SpongeBob SquarePants, followed by Rugrats. Next on Nick, it's Star vs. the Forces of Evil, followed by Garfield and Friends. Coming up, it's Super Andrew 418's Character Elimination, followed by SpongeBob SquarePants, only on Nickelodeon. Don't go away! Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Coming up, it's the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, followed by Postman Pat, only on Nickelodeon. Stay tuned for Total Drama, followed by Real Monsters, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nick, it's Tots, followed by the Unused and Imagine Show. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Wabaloo, followed by Lab Rats. Next on Nick, it's Wabaloo, followed by Paper Puppets. Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's Wabaloo, followed by Ren and Stimpy. Don't go away! Coming up next on Nickelodeon, it's The Wonder Years. Next up, it's The Wonder Years, followed by Jungle Junction, only on Nickelodeon. Do not move your seat because Yo Gabba Gabba is coming up next, followed by Ni Hao Kai Lan, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's Yo Gabba Gabba, followed by Wabaloo, only on Nickelodeon. Coming up, it's Yoko, followed by the most brain-rotted kids show, Paw Patrol, only on Nickelodeon. Next on Nickelodeon, it's Zeke and Loofer, followed by Johnny Bravo.